Welcome to Harmony School of Innovation Garland's 2026 graduation ceremony. Please join me in warmly welcoming our distinguished graduates.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing as we welcome Today we will be celebrating the young men and women seated before you tonight as they close one chapter and begin a new one as adults. My name is Jennifer Bunting, and I have had the proud privilege of serving these students for at least the last 7 years, some of them much longer, as both an English teacher, mentor, and club sponsor. Today is bittersweet for me as it is for many of my colleagues, as it is for you. We watched this group go from the immaturity of youth to the distinguished graduates seated here today. Many transitioned from red shirts toddling down the halls of HSA to middle school, where they ended their years taking classes from the comfort of their own bed, to the eye rolls and sometimes combative attitudes of their time as high schoolers. We have laughed, cried, and yes, even fought over the years, but it was all to lead up to the moments you are about to bear witness to. Thank you so much to all of you for your attendance today to honor these seniors. Parents and guardians, let's be very clear. We would not be here today celebrating if it wasn't for your love, cooperation, and the willingness to work with us to ensure that your babies became respectable, upstanding members of society. That's the ultimate goal. Students, this is your day. You have all earned the opportunity to be seated here tonight, and this is your celebration of all the hard work and dedication you have put in over the years. I know how difficult this road has been for you. The things you have accomplished over the last 4 years of nothing shy of spectacular. You started 4 of the most difficult years fresh out of a global pandemic, secluded from your classmates and navigating an education under new rules and expectations. You rose to meet what some called an impossible challenge. Some of you showed up to classes skeptical of what the year would bring, and some of you dove in like the world hadn't just thrown us through a giant loop. Some of you jumped right in as if nothing had changed, determined to make your high school experience uniquely your own. You started clubs, participated in sports, you took on volunteer work and hands-on projects within your own communities with a whole new purpose. If your COVID year taught you anything, it was that perseverance against the odds is crucial. Some of you learned just how well you will do in college as your classes shifted to an online platform. Some of you went on to thrive in dual credit classes and made your way into some of the most prestigious universities in the country. Some of you learned that sleeping through your classes or not showing up at all does in fact have consequences. But most importantly, you all learned just how valuable times like these are, surrounded by your loved ones and the ones that will be by your side throughout life, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Graduates, I want you to take a good look around you right now. Look at your family, your teachers, and your friends, and feel the love, happiness, and support that everyone here has for you today. Despite what the world has thrown at you over the years, these are the people that have stood by you, and these are the people that will always have your back. I would like to now take the opportunity and introduce the people that make our campus and our district operate on a daily basis. Ms. Kay, our principal. Mr. Coleman, our dean of athletics. Mr. Barnes, our dean of student culture. And Mr. Ermack, our dean of college and career relations. I would like to recognize our counselors, the ones who ensured that every graduation requirement was met, and the ones that poured countless hours into you on a daily basis. Mr. Holtorf. Mr. Shakaya. Finally, our distinguished guests from our district office. Mr. Bashulu, our Deputy of Superintendent in Programs. And Mr. Lulu, our District STEM and GT Coordinator. Thank you for being here tonight. At this time, I would like to welcome Ms. Kay, our principal, to the stage for a welcome message.
Good evening. It is my great honor and joy to welcome you all to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2026. Today, we celebrate a truly remarkable group of students who have left a lasting mark on our school community. The class of 2026 will definitely be remembered as a kind, respectful, and hardworking group of students. You guys brought possibility, a school spirit, and a strong relationships to our campus. You made our school a better place. I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you. I also want to give a special thank you to my principal's cabinet for your time, leadership, and for everything that you have done for our school. You are the first graduating senior class from principal's cabinet, and you guys will always be the originals. You know who you are. As you move on to the next chapter of our lives, I hope you continue to follow your passions, stay kind, build meaningful relationships, and remember that success looks different for everyone. What matters the most is the impact that you make and the person that you become along the way. Class of 2026, we are so proud of you, and we cannot wait to see all the amazing things that you will accomplish. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Ms. Kay, for your inspiring words. You are definitely the glue that binds our Harmony family together. It is now my honor to introduce to you an honored graduate that is no surprise as she strives for success in everything she does. Her intelligence and determination is a force to be reckoned with. She was one that started out as a shy and extremely quiet girl in class, turning into an opinionated young woman who is not afraid to speak her mind and fight for the things that she is passionate about. She is graduating today with a GPA of over 4.57 and has accepted a full-ride scholarship to the University of Texas at Dallas, where she will major in biology. Today I get to welcome her to the stage as HSI Garland's 2026 salutatorian, Samalila.
Tonight feels like a summit. For years, we were taught to believe in moments like these. Moments where everything finally comes together. Where effort becomes reward, where exhaustion becomes rest, and where life somehow begins. But are we sure that life really works that way? There is a myth about a man condemned to spend eternity pushing a boulder up a mountain. Each time he reaches the top, the stone rolls back down, and every morning he begins again. The Greeks called him Sisyphus. For most of us, that is what effort has felt. Years of chasing after something, always moving towards something just beyond the present. But maybe the misunderstanding was the idea that life was waiting somewhere else. Because somewhere along the way, we started treating life like a destination. We told ourselves, after the next exam, after the next goal, after the next milestone, then we will live. But life was never waiting for us there. It was already happening here. In the small, unremarkable moments we passed through without noticing. The conversations we forgot 5 minutes later, the early and quiet mornings, the ordinary days we thought meant nothing at the time. We were so focused on becoming something that we forgot we were already someone. And maybe the most human thing about this experience is not how much we have achieved, but how much of it we lived through without realizing it was life at all. We learned how to chase later so well, we forgot how to recognize now. And if tonight feels heavy, it's not only because something is ending, but because we're finally noticing what was always here. Life was never only in the arrival. It was in everything we rushed through along along the way. And we were not climbing alone. None of us. For many of us, there were people climbing before we ever understood what the mountain was. Parents, families, quiet sacrifices we didn't have the language for at the time. And so, before I go on any further, I need to pause and acknowledge my own. Shukran Mama, Shukran Baba, for the love, patience, more of you than I will ever be able to put into words. Shukran Bibi, wa Mami, Ammati, Kawali Falati, for the presence, the support, and for being part of the life that shaped mine. And to my siblings and cousins and friends out here, thank you for the laughter, the chaos, and the memories that made growing up and going through school so much lighter than it otherwise could have been. Because so much of the state is not loud or visible. It is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It does not ask to be remembered. It's only later when we look back that we begin to understand how many invisible efforts were holding everything together. And in that realization, we begin to see something simple but easy to forget. None of this has ever been purely individual. Before we ever learned how to push forward, somebody was already there pushing for us. And the climb continues. Because even here, at what feels like the peak, there will always be another mountain waiting. Another definition of success. Another version of enough. And if we're not careful, we will spend our entire lives waiting for permission to finally live. But there is a difference between climbing unconsciously and climbing away. The difference between chasing a life that exists somewhere ahead and noticing the one unfolding beneath your very feet. So maybe the point was never to escape the climb. Maybe it was to finally see it. The light on the pavement when you're walking home. The sound of laughter in a room you didn't realize you would miss one day. The way time feels different when you stop treating it like something you're trying to outrun. All of it, already life. There's a line by the poet Mahmoud Darwish that says, وَأَنْتَ فِي طَرِيقِكَ لِلْبَحْثِ عَنِ الْحَيَاةِ لَا تَنْسَ أَنْ تَعِيشَ. And on your way to find life, don't forget to live. And maybe that is what we forget when we spend too long looking forward. Not that life is coming, but that it's already here. So if this moment is an ending, let it not be an ending of effort, but the beginning of an awareness that we are still climbing, still becoming, still unfinished. But we stop waiting for life to begin elsewhere and start living it as it unfolds. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you so much, Sama. And speaking of silent sacrifices, can Sama's family please stand to be recognized? Amazing job with that one. Okay. Tonight we celebrate not only achievement, but the determination, resilience, and heart it took to get here. Our next honored graduate has led with intelligence, kindness, and quiet strength, inspiring classmates and teachers alike every step of the way. She represents the very best of this graduating class, and her future is incredibly bright, graduating with a 4.63 GPA and accepting a full ride scholarship to the University of Texas, Dallas, where she will major in health sciences with a minor in public health, with the dream of becoming a pediatrician. Please put your hands together now and welcome HSI Garland's 2026 valedictorian, Azra Karima.
Hello everyone. There is nothing more beautiful than the moment you realize you're becoming the person you once hoped you would. I truly believe that That is what tonight means. Not perfect, not certain, but growth. Because none of us arrived here fully knowing who we were. Over the years, life shaped us through uncertainty, mistakes, and change. And somewhere between who we were and who we are now, we begin finding direction within ourselves. Because none of us arrived here fully formed. We came into this two-floored, one-hallway school carrying unfinished versions of ourselves. Some loud, some quiet, some certain, some completely lost. We were children trying to convince the world and sometimes ourselves that we knew who we were. Then life began shaping us. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly. The way rain shapes stone. Through disappointment, through loneliness, through pressure, through the silent exhaustion that no one admits out loud. People say high school goes by fast. I don't think that's true. Certain moments stretch endlessly as we live them. The stress before an exam, the heaviness of a bad day, the moments our friendships break, the times we sat with emotions too complicated to explain. Yet somehow, standing here tonight, those years feel very distant, like a page turning faster than our hearts were ready for. Our class was small enough to no one beyond introduction. 81 individuals, 81 entirely different worlds. We saw each other in fragments, tired eyes in the first period, smiling during difficult weeks, ambition hiding fear, and silence and pain. And despite everything, we kept showing up, again and again, every morning, some later than others. Every semester, every year. There's something very sacred about this kind of endurance. Somewhere along the way, we began to understand how fragile people truly are. How easy it is to wound one another. How often anger is just sadness hiding nowhere to go. How many unsuccessful things become important simply because we forget how temporary life is. And maybe growing up is realizing that most things are not worth carrying the weight of forever. Not the grudges, not the misunderstandings, not the pride. Because eventually, time humbles us all. Somehow, the hardest seasons of our lives often carry the beginnings of our growth within. Not after the struggles, but with it. As if even our worst moments were still shaping us gently towards something better. As if life was never absent, only waiting quietly beneath the weight of difficult days. Looking back now, I see the moments that nearly broke us were often the moments that deepened us most. Pain made us softer, failure made us wiser, uncertainty taught us faith. And love, for parents, teachers, and friends, carried us farther than talent ever could. To my teachers, especially Coach Bowen, thank you for your patience, your support, and your selflessness, for caring about all your students, especially those of us who were still trying to learn how to exist in this world. To my mentors and my counselor, Ms. Levine, who came here today, thank you for your guidance, your patience, and for believing in us during the moments that we struggled the most. Your words reached us in ways you may never fully realize, and your impact is far beyond. To my friends, my group of 7, thank you for carrying me through these past 4 years. Your laughter, your memories, and the kind of friendships that made even the hardest days feel bearable. We grew up alongside each other through every stressful moment, every inside joke, every late conversation, and every memory I now will carry after tonight. To my best friend, Aiden, thank you for always listening without judgment, for always opening your home and your heart for me, and for being there, truly more than a friend, a third sister. To my parents and my siblings, there's no words large enough for what you have done for me. Every achievement attached to my name belongs to you first. Your prayers reached places my strength could not. Your support and love is unplayable. All in all, I love you guys so much, more than words can explain. Lastly, to my classmates, one day, years from now, we will forget our grades. We will forget our assignments, our deadlines, and our schedules. But we will remember how certain people made us feel, who sat beside us during difficult moments, who showed us kindness when life felt heavy, who remembered us that we were not alone. That is what remembering a person is. Not about their perfection, but about their presence. Tonight is not a finish line, it is a beginning, a doorway into our lives none of us can fully imagine. And although the future will ask very difficult questions from us, I hope we enter it gently. I hope we become people who leave softness behind us wherever we go. People who understand that intelligence without compassion is empty. People who remember that every human being is carrying invisible battles of their own. Class of 2026, we arrive here uncertain, and I hope we leave here changed. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you, everyone.
At this time, could we please have Azra's family stand to be recognized? At this time, please help me in welcoming our honored guest and keynote speaker. This is a bittersweet moment for me as she was part of my first 7th grade class at Harmony back in 2012. She is a woman of strength and dignity who has played a pivotal role in public health and human rights. Abina Marfo is a Harmony School of Innovation alumni who graduated at the top 10% of her class while concurrently earning an Associate of Science degree from Dallas Community College. She is a public health professional and program evaluator at Prism Health North Texas, where she leads quality improvement initiatives to strengthen HIV care and service delivery. She holds triple undergraduate degrees in human rights, health and society, and sociology from Southern Methodist University, where she was a Mustang Scholar recipient, and a Master of Public Health and Global Health with a certificate in human rights from Emory University's Rollins School of Public Health. She is currently a Global Health Corps Fellow in the U.S. Leadership Accelerator, a competitive fellowship founded by Barbara Bush, supporting early career public health professionals advancing health equality across the United States. Abina also serves as a volunteer member of the Ryan White Planning Council for the City of Dallas, where she contributes to community-informed decision-making on the HIV services and resource allocation. If you hear all of this and think this isn't possible for me to achieve, she did. And she was sitting in the exact same seat as you were, graduating from the same high school just 8 years ago. Please help me now in welcoming Abina Marfo, HSI Class of 2018.
Commencement speaker. But before I go any further, graduates, I need you guys to take in this moment, so give yourself a round of applause. Y'all made it. Honestly, I feel like my advice is probably outdated because you guys went through high school in a time where no one else could map it out right after COVID, so I want you guys to be extremely proud of yourself. So when Ms. Bunting asked me to speak, I immediately began thinking about what I wanted to say to you all. Honestly, I was like, okay, I can talk about the standard topics about doing your best, achieving your goals, never doing get your degree if you don't pass. But high school is essentially a nonstop process of learning and consuming and proving that you know all this information through classwork, projects, state exams, AP exams, which you guys all did. And for me, it also meant that I could indeed write a 10-page paper in one night. I don't recommend it, and please don't carry that to college, but these are all things that we learn. Even applying to college is a process of learning how to write a personal statement, how to take the SAT/ACT, learning to have patience with your parents as you guys fill out FAFSA if they can't find their tax forms. But here's what no one really prepares you for. And some of the most important lessons in life, truly come from unlearning. Unlearning fear, unlearning self-doubt, unlearning the status quo, unlearning biases that you didn't even know that you carried, and unlearning the pressure to have your entire life figured out at the age of 18, which is actually pretty crazy because when you think about it, you guys can't even rent a car right now, but you know, that's life. So as a first generation American and a first generation college student, I grew up with the understanding that I had unlimited career options as long as they fell within the realm of being a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer. And if you're really rebel, maybe you can become an accountant. But my mother had learned, like many others, that there was a foolproof career options that would bring in the standard definition of success. Therefore, I learned it, I adopted it, and I applied it. So I took the path of least resistance and I decided to become a doctor. Even though deep down, I knew my heart wasn't in it. But I figured, hey, how hard is it to force yourself to love something that you truly don't? Spoiler alert, it is very hard to do that. So I went to SMU swinging, I walked into my science courses and implemented the same studying techniques that I utilized in high school, which was an all or nothing mentality. And that soon turned into, well, if I'm not suffering, was it even worth trying? But this led to a really deep period of isolation, thus leading me to moments of honest reflection in which I concluded that I was absolutely miserable. Not because the work was hard, but because I was chasing someone else's definition of success. Every time I pictured myself as a doctor, the image felt like a costume that didn't fit. I had to unlearn all of it. I especially had to learn the hard lesson of just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. And let me be clear, unlearning is not a pretty process. It rarely is. But most of the time, it looks like having vulnerable conversations with yourselves, having uncomfortable conversations with your family, and even accepting and recognizing the guilt that comes with feeling like you're letting people down, which is part of the process. You're grieving a version of yourself that was built around other people's expectation, a version of yourself that was never really yours to begin with. But here's what I discovered on the other side. When you begin to unlearn what no longer serves you, you begin to make space for the things that do serve you. So as you leave here today, yes, I encourage you, of course, to keep learning, especially in the space of college. Learn the new skills. Learn how to cook food outside of ramen and cereal. Learn the things that make you laugh. Learn all the things. But also give yourself permission to unlearn. Unlearn the idea that your worth is tied to your being productive. Unlearn that the belief of asking people for help is a sign of weakness. Unlearn the notion that the path has to be straight in order to be valid. Your journey is yours, and sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is admit that the map that you were given no longer matches the territory you're standing in. So what do? You throw it away and you draw a new one. Finally, I'll leave you off with a few other tips so you can at least say that I gave you something that you will remember in this new path of adulting. So things like, please follow your taxes, please pay off your credit cards, make sure you stretch because your body will begin to show its age, eat your vegetables, and please call your parents so at least they know you're alive once in a while. Congratulations, Class of 2022.
Thank you, Abina. And guys, those are really, really good tips that she just gave you. So you definitely want to keep those in mind. Our next honorary speaker, once again, proves that it doesn't matter how you start the race, it's how you finish. He too is a 2017 Harmony graduate who is now a neurosurgery resident at the University of Minnesota. I will say I did carry on a lot about Abina, but I just met about 30 minutes ago. So please help me in warmly welcoming Dr. Collins Makua.
A beautiful class. Good evening, class of 2026. been like 9 years ago. And I was called here today to do the task of showing you what's possible, what can happen, what is coming. But I find myself standing here after many speakers have given you words of wisdom beyond what I had planned to share with you all today. So I hope you're feeling inspired. I hope you're feeling proud of yourselves. And I hope you can see the room is full of love, full of pride for what you have all accomplished today. Now, someone once said that if a dream does not sound crazy, it is not big enough yet. Today I have the humble pleasure to share with you some of the lessons I have learned along the way on my journey to becoming a physician. I share with you all a very special moment. This year is also my graduating year from medical school. I remember an old tale I used to hear growing up of one potato farmer. So there were two routes that the farmers used to take to get to the market. One was a standard paved road, smooth, straight directions, easy. And everyone, all the farmers used to take this road because it was easy. It was almost obvious that this was the way to get to the market. But there was a rough road that no one used to take that had rocks, bumps, was dusty, was long. Now, some of you may not know, but potatoes are sold by size. They have to be sorted once you get to the market. So the farmers, they take the smooth road, they would get to the market in time, start sorting their potatoes, and start selling. But I remember being told about this farmer who one day decided to take the road less traveled. He decided that instead of taking the smooth road, he was going to load his potatoes in his truck and take the rough road, take the long road, take the lonely road. So everybody called him crazy because why would you do that? But what they did not know is that the farmer had wisdom beyond what they could see. In taking the rough road, the truck shook, it shaped, and sorted the potatoes. And by the time he got to the market, his potatoes were sorted and he could just open the truck and start selling. Now, why do I tell you this story? I stand before you today as Dr. Garland. But before I got that title, I was a young boy from Kenya in a new country, new education system, but most importantly, new opportunities. Moving to this country, I faced two options. I could be myself and risk ridicule, social isolation, or I could fight to fit in, take the easy road. It was not easy. I wanted to be accepted. We all do. We all want to fit in. But remembering the story of the farmer gave me the courage to be proud of my background. Leaning into my background as an immigrant, I graduated as a valedictorian of HSA Dallas in 2017 and continued on to Columbia University, where I pursued a degree in neuroscience. This taught me to be proud of yourself, be yourself, and hold your head high in the face of difficult decisions. At Columbia, I was tested yet again. All around me was some of the best things the world could offer. It was New York City. I was intimidated almost daily, surrounded by some of the smartest people in the country, in the world, some of the best teachers the world has to offer. But I remembered also that the farmer probably was scared to take the rough road, the new road, the unknown road. And so, with that courage, before I graduated, I purchased myself an Apple Pen engraved Dr. McCool. This was years before I knew my fate. I kept that to myself because I knew that this is what I wanted. And so I claimed it. And so today, I call on to you, the class of 2026, to be courageous. Dream of the impossible. Believe that you have it within you to achieve that which you feel called to. Put your name on it. Claim it. COVID came and went. you guys are all too familiar, and I returned to Texas for medical school. This solidified for me yet one more lesson that we can learn from the farmer. Perseverance builds armor, and patience pays. All those years of taking APs, sitting for SATs, sitting for the MCAT, organic chemistry, which some of you will find out very soon is a treacherous course. All those prepared me to be the kind of medical student that I needed to be as I walked the journey towards my biggest and wildest dream yet, that of becoming a neurosurgeon. And so to summarize, as you all look into the future, I want you to remember, they will call you crazy. Do it anyway. You will be scared. Do it anyway. It will be hard to keep going. You will doubt yourself. Do it anyway. Graduation is a wonderful marker in the life of a growing and developing human being. You all have achieved today what many across the world dream of. I want you to remember that your education is the only wealth that no one can take away from you. I'm incredibly proud of you all. I wish you all the best. God bless you. Congratulations.
One more round of applause for Abina and Dr. McCoy. At this time, we have a senior video that we are going to play for you. I know you guys are all looking forward to it.
Don't let me leave, Merv. Don't let me leave, Merv. No!
You guys, that was the first time I saw your video. That was super cute. My teacher heart is happy that you can buy a car one day because you can sign in cursive. Some of you are going to remember not to have video evidence for everything you do. If you're a child of the 80s, you understand this. But that was very cute, guys. All right, parents, it is now time for us to recognize the many honor cords that your students are wearing today. So guys, when I call off these different chords, I would like you to stand to be recognized. So first we have our students who completed 200 plus hours of community service in black chords. So if you are wearing a black cord, please stand and be recognized. Next we have our students who participated on a Harmony sports team wearing purple cords. If you are wearing a purple cord, please stand to be recognized. Next, we have our students who completed an IBC or industrial-based certification wearing dark green cords. So if you are wearing a green cord, please stand to be recognized. We now have our students who participated in CRLP, College Readiness and Leadership, in pink cords. So if you are wearing a pink cord, please stand to be recognized. Next, we have our students who participated in HOSA for a minimum of 2 years in blue cords. If you are wearing a blue cord, please stand to be recognized. Next, we have our students who participated in a minimum of 2 blood drive donations hosted by Carter Blood Care in red cords. Some of them suffered, guys. They needed their hands to be held. So we're going to have to work on that a little bit. If you helped save a life this year, please stand to be recognized. Next, we will recognize our students who have maintained a 3.5 GPA wearing a twisted red and gold cord. If you are wearing this cord, please stand now to be recognized. Now we will recognize our students who have maintained a 4.0 GPA or above, wearing a twisted red, white, and blue cord. If you are wearing this cord, please stand because we are pretty harsh graders. Maybe not, Mr. Bowen. Okay. Next, we have our students who participated in an academic competition wearing twisted green and white cords. If you are wearing this cord, please stand now to be recognized. Now our students who participated in SLS, Student Leadership Society, in silver cords. If you are wearing a silver cord, please stand now to be recognized. We have a lot of colors this year. Next, we have our students who participated in the Senior Council or the Student Council in white cords. If you are wearing a white cord, please stand now to be recognized. We now have our students who participated in the Principal's Cabinet in twisted black and red cords. If you are wearing this cord, please stand to be recognized. And last, we have our National Honor Society members in yellow cords and light blue triangular stoles. If you are wearing a yellow NHS cord, please stand to be recognized. These students are graduating with honors, having maintained a cumulative grade point average of a 3.8 or higher throughout their high school career while taking on a vast number of community service projects and volunteer work. So guys, you did an awesome job. We have a lot of you. Graduates, as you know, there are a lot of people who are involved in supporting you as you work towards your goal to graduate from high school. All of us were cheering for you, but in the end, the important thing to remember is that it was your choice to be seated here tonight. You have endured trials and tribulations that few graduates before you have ever experienced. Yet you have been resilient and have proven to the world that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Today, as you graduate from high school, remember this. Our counselors and principals will now take their positions to present the 2026 graduates with their diplomas. These graduates have met all of the graduation requirements as set forth by Harmony Public Schools, as well as the state of Texas. We will now begin the diploma ceremony for the class of 2026.
Musa Edulcic. Haley Abraham. Salim El-Wafi. Muhammad Al-Ahmed. Segufa Ali. Zain Ali. Melissa Alkan. Muhammad Al-Mahani. Yaman Al-Rifai. Moit Altaf. Nicole Andrews. Warisha Atif. Amir Awad.
Caleb today. Kylie Bell. Delilah Cano. Guadalupe Cano. Hugo Durna. Rayon Denard. Claire Crawford. Luna Cruz Romero. Maite Del Rosario. Amanda Dean. Tim Tracy, Eddie Mendez. Fatma Furkan. Eduardo Esparza. Angel Fabia. Cindy Barnett. Joshua Garnica. Mia Garza. Blake Giles. Luis Gonzalez. Hassan Omar.
Meliha Çelik. Ekran Gudino. İmran Hasan. Kamran Hasan. Talya İbrahim Paşa. İnci İle. Noval Caner. Oyun Cengiz Bilge Karakaş.
graduate.
Anthony Rodriguez Hernandez.
Yeah.
Adrian Ruiz. Ayman Shambi. Hani Sheikh. Rudy Cifuentes. Eclipse Isai.
Sophia Chicago Rocky Alvarez. Valeria Chicago Rocky. Rumesa Sayed. Timothy Saul. Sebastian Dorado. Ella Uza. Freya Arquilla. Leticia Sashi. Angel Sanchez. Leslie Daphne Lucas. Maxwell.
At this point, we should have a vote on who gave the best graduation dance. Congratulations, graduates. We're waiting for you to come back to your seats. At this time, I would like to recognize a special group of students who have built their legacy here at Harmony. Starting first in the halls of our elementary campus and making their way to this final graduation stage you see tonight. At this time, I want to invite Aditya to the stage to share some of his memories coming up the ranks as an HSI graduate.
How's it going, guys? Good. Good evening, everyone. Teachers, parents, classmates, class of 2026. Thanks for coming Today is a day that we've been waiting for our entire lives, and it still doesn't feel real. We just like got the diploma and stuff. Niggas probably all wondering how I'm up here. Obviously, I'm not top two, not even close. But it's for a different reason. It's a reason that no matter how hard you study, you couldn't get up here. I've been here for 12 years. Me and 11 other students, we've been here since the started kindergarten. For most people here, their harmony journey started in middle school or high school. Before us 11, it started earlier than that in kindergarten. Before we cared about grades, finals, college applications, we were just little kids learning how to read, raise our hands for everything, and getting excited to sleep for nap time. Or snack time. But back then, graduation felt like forever away, all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade, looking at the seniors, because back then, all the seniors were in one building, kindergarten seniors in one building. You look, and I would be like, oh my God, look at these giants. Like, that's what we be on someday, that's so far away. And now, I'm finally there, and it's kind of crazy. We really grew up together. We watched each other change into the people we became today, sitting here wearing caps and gowns. We share so many memories, field trips, classroom parties, playing games like Bloody Tim or Hunger Games, during recess, middle school awkwardness, school events, late night studying, and moments that seemed small at the time, but all led up to this. This school became more than just a building, it was like part of our lives. Most of you guys had some sort of education in some other school, but us 11, we really gave our whole life to Harmony, all the way from 5 to 18. Those 11 up there, if you guys are wondering, by the way, that's kindergarten, now this us. We grew up from little cubs, now we big Army Tigers. Some friends in the class have lasted over a decade. Some of us have known each other our entire lives. We've seen others succeed, struggle, laugh, fail, improve, and keep going. And I think that's what makes today so special. It's not about just receiving a diploma, it's about realizing how far we came together. When we were younger, we thought this day would take forever, but we realized time moves faster than we thought, and we have all those memories that we'd never be able to live ever again. Just memories now. One day, years from now, we probably won't remember every assignment or test. Actually, forget years from now. I don't remember what I did in third quarter. But we will remember the people, the laughter, the inside jokes, the moments that we made these years unforgettable. So let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The lucky 11, since our journey started back in kindergarten, most of you guys were not there, so let's talk about it. Our first field trip was in Legoland. That field trip was actually with the seniors, so us little kids were with the big seniors. And after the field trip, at the end, it's at Legoland, we're trying to buy Legos for kids. But they didn't let us buy the Legos. They said only the seniors could buy the Legos. So Joshua was sad. He brought his money from his mom and he couldn't buy the Legos. So he ended up going home, and it was pretty sad for him. He never ended up getting the Legos. There were 2 classes back then in kindergarten, right? And at some point, we were growing chickens in the classrooms. It was just killing the incubator, which was pretty cool. Going from chickens and eggs, I remember this one time, my teacher was like, oh, bring your favorite snack. Let's have a little snack time. I loved omelets for some reason at the time. So I brought an omelet that my dad made. And then I put it to school, and it turned out some dude was allergic to eggs. So I had to sit in the corner and just eat my omelet by alone, while all my friends were just in the middle, just talking to each other eating. So I was pretty sad. I was like, why am I here alone? Like, it's not my fault that dude was allergic to eggs. Now that we're talking about food, during Halloween, our teacher brought a big pumpkin, and we harvested it, and we also had some pumpkin pie, right? Leslie had to use the restroom. She ended up using the restroom. They were passing out pumpkin pie. She came back, all the pumpkin pie was gone. She was raising out to get some. She never ended up getting no pumpkin pie. It's pretty sad. Also, one day we were folding paper, right? Doing just like whatever little kids do, just fold paper, the origami or whatever the assignments, right? Turns out Larry can't really fold papers. She was struggling pretty bad. So we were like on step 5, step 6, doing whatever the folding is. And then Claire was still at step 2, just had to struggle however she was doing it. So she ended up being pretty sad too. So now these are some pretty sad stories. So let's finish with the saddest of them all. Imagine going to kindergarten, right? and you're there to learn this stuff, right? But what if you think your parents left you? You go to kindergarten thinking your parents left you for this random teacher and you're never seeing your parents ever again. Well, Angel had to live this every single day. Every single day. She goes to school, like, oh my God, my parents left me. She started like babysitting, running stuff. So it sucks for Angel. Thankfully, I don't think that Angel was forget. Not sure if Max will remember this one. But one day, Max was a bit tired and sleeping during kindergarten. So what he ended up doing, he ended up falling asleep on someone's shoulder. Sebastian looked to his left. He just saw Max just chilling on his shoulder, sleeping. He was confused on what's going on. So that's it for kindergarten. But before we move on to high school, there's one thing that happened in like second, third grade between me and Daniel. It was something we used to do. And then Jalil used to end up joining us. I'm not going to tell you too much about that story. You might need to ask him. That's a story for another day. I think for high school, it was pretty fun. Human geography was a great class. I'm in 12th grade now, playing in the Among Us Discord, playing football, playing cards, going picking right now in the cafeteria tables. It was a great time. I remember this time, beginning of the year, we were playing cards, and like my knees, because like we don't want the teacher to catch on. So that was pretty cool time. But tonight marks the end of this chapter. It's also the beginning of something new. Each one of us going into a different direction after tonight. Some of us heading into college, some into careers, some trying to still figure out things. We started this journey as kindergartners who barely knew what the future looked like, and today we finished it together as graduates. So the class of 2026, thank you for the memories, thank you for the friendships, and thank you for the years we shared. Congratulations, everyone. We made it.
Version of 3 minutes, and ours are a little bit different. But we love it. Will the following people please join me on the stage? Joshua, Kayla, Maxwell, Leslie, Daphne, Claire, Angel, Asan, Sebastian, Daniel, and Aditya. As tradition goes, high school students will start the ceremony with their tassel situated on the right side of their cap. The turning of the tassel signifies the earning of a degree. Today, as our students earn their high school diplomas, the turning of the tassel will also symbolize the closing of life's chapter and the start of something brand new. Graduates, at this time, I would like to congratulate you on a job well done and invite you to move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. As we close the ceremony, I want to remind you today does not mark the end, but rather just the beginning of all life has to offer you. Go after your dreams no matter how many challenges stand in your way, and let's be clear, there will be challenges. Some of those challenges may be even more difficult and intense than the classmate sitting beside you, but I promise you that mindset is everything. If you start life with the mindset that you are only capable of so much, that's all you're ever going to achieve. But you, all of you, are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Fight for it, even if it hurts, because in the end, your hard work and determination will always pay off. As you go out into the world, be kind to one another, while advancing your own interests. Remind yourself that you never know what other people are going through, so maintain a level of respect for yourself and the people you encounter. light of events unfolding across the globe, I want to reiterate the importance of human decency toward one another. Graduates, all of you are special and uniquely your own, but I want you to look around. While it's important to light your own path, it should never be at the expense of someone else. Everybody in this room has phenomenal traits and some flaws. But know this, attitude and mindset will play a vital role in your future as well as your success. If I can give you one last hard truth before you leave, it's this. Nobody is better than or beneath anybody else in this room, and you are all capable of achieving greatness. Having the ability to collaborate with each other on an equal and respectful level will be vital to you and what you accomplish. If somebody tells you that you can't do something in life, use that as your motivation to prove them wrong. I can speak on behalf of all of your teachers and administrators here today when I say that we are extremely proud of the young men and women you have become. And we are excited to watch as you take these next steps. We will miss you all greatly. All of your excuses to get out of class, Musa, Mohammed, Hamza, my bad, Moeed, Luis, Sebastian, who I don't even think was in classes, yet somehow managed to be there every single time, for pushing the bounds on what may or may not be breaking news on NBC or Fox 4. Chabika and Rachel for providing what I think was the most cutthroat battle of senior assassin I have ever witnessed. And to Aditya, who didn't cheat in the game but probably did. I mean, GPS coordinates, guys, like you took it to a whole new level. Was that necessary? Luis, I don't know how you managed to boot somebody's car in the parking lot. Sebastian, gotcha, buddy. My CRLP girls for making lasting memories at the beach into the best quesadillas on the planet. Natalia, Talia, Kayla, and the wall. I'd like to thank this year's senior class for upping our insurance rates. Many of you treated the pickup and drop-off line like it was a racetrack at the Indy 500. And being the reason we had to sit through numerous meetings on how to actually keep you in class. Y'all come up with some of the most outrageous excuses. But we will miss it all. Dorian, Luna, Valeria, and Sophia for always being there when we needed you. Delilah and Sophia, our adventures are not over yet. But the 7th graders this year are forever in your debt as you guys served as some of the best peer mentors our campus has ever seen. The years have definitely flown by. For some of you, we still remember you with tears in your eyes as your parents dropped you off on the first day of kindergarten, opening your fruit snacks at lunch, and keeping you from popping your straw all the way through your juice boxes. Y'all are aging us by the minute and you don't even realize it. But these are the memories we will cherish and we wouldn't trade for anything. At the end of the day, just remember that we will always be here for you and your families. No matter how many years have passed, you will always be a part of this Harmony family. Congratulations, Harmony School of Innovation, Garland, class of 2026. At this time, guys, get ready. You know what's coming. We are going to count down to that infamous photo opportunity for your parents, where you will toss your cats high in the air. That means you actually have to throw them. You gotta throw them this time, so get them up. Signifying your release from this chapter and the beginning of your next. Y'all ready? Okay, stand up. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, guys. Parents, thank you for coming tonight. Have a safe trip home.
शायद 2 आए थे